Let's spin this take here, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic here. I'm going to give you a few names, and I'm going to ask you, what do they have in common? Okay, these are the top 5 names here on this list: Giannis, Embiid, Luca, SGA, and Ja Morant. What list do you think I'm reading?
I was going to say, so I've got two guesses. One was going to be international players until you talked about Ja Morant. So then the second I'm going to say is points in the paint.
Close. These five
Uh,
players, these 5 players are leading the league in free throw attempts. Okay. And if we go slightly down this list, number 6 is Banchero, Trae Young, Tatum, DeRozan, and KD, and number 10 right now. Okay, at this sort of quarter point of the season at the moment. This take here is that as a junior player, one of the least valued, talked about, and observed points from all aspects. I'm talking not only as a player or versus peers or as a coach or parent, okay, is a player's ability to draw free throws, draw fouls, shoot free throws. Because it's clear that elite players are players that can draw free throws, okay, and draw fouls, go to a line, shoot lots of free throws, and that, all right, is a skill in itself. And I guess the take here is that more players should take this on board and modify and add to their game their ability to attack the paint, attack the players, and look to draw fouls to get to the free throw line to shoot free throws in the game.
Obviously, when we're talking about junior players, we're talking about, local leagues, domestic comps. I want to say they're like high school equivalent, not necessarily high division in the States. The hardest part with prompting people, hey, draw more fouls, is you need to be able to consistently get calls. And obviously, in non-professional leagues, refereeing is very sporadic from what you can get. And then there's a couple of aspects to almost selling calls, right? So when we look at a player like Ja Morant, why does he get so many free throw attempts? And the reality is he drives to the basket a lot, right? Why does Giannis get so many free throw attempts? Well, he drives to the basket a lot. Why does Joel Embiid get so many free throw attempts? He flops. No, I'm joking. He gets to the basket a lot. But can we tell kids, hey, just keep going inside, keep going inside, keep going inside, you're going to get free throw attempts? Correlate? Well, yeah, it can, right? But here is probably the thing that hurts junior players. Analytics, 3 is better than 1, right? And I could put up 10 threes and hit, let's say, 3 of them, and that's 9 points. I would have to go to the basket and get fouled 5 times to get a referee to call 5 fouls in the same time it'd take you to take 10 threes just to get the same amount of points on the board, and then the potential for 1 more. And that's shooting 90% opposed to 30%. I think that's why this part of the game is lost to a degree. It's an analytical standpoint. There's an injury prevention standpoint, right? You drive to the ring, you're more likely to twist an ankle, get knocked onto your back or butt, land awkwardly, those kind of things, get a hit to the face.
So what, you're scared? You're scared. Well. You're scared of driving to the paint. Is that right? Is there concern
I am.
about driving
as a man,
into the paint?
As a man who has no knees left, and if I had a child, would also be like, I would like to preserve their young body for as long as possible. Yes, I don't want my child going into the hoop, getting smacked down by some larger child. I would rather them finesse their way into a 3-pointer and be safe.
So now there's some irony here because you don't have any children at this point yet. So you're talking about any future children that you have that you would like to encourage them to shoot threes versus driving into the paint, drawing contact, and therefore going to the free throw line. That's sort of what you just said then, right? Okay. And yep. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make here, that firstly, those players on the list, every single one of them, okay, is a great player, okay, because of the ability to score. 8 of those 10 in the top 10 are already all-stars. SGA is probably going to be an all-star this year. All right, it's averaging like 30 points a game at the moment, okay? and he's sort of found that step to unlock his potential is up, I think, about 6 points a game because he's drawing more fouls. Okay, drawing more fouls. Obviously, Banchero is probably going to be rookie of the year. He's averaging 20 plus points at the moment for the Magic, but he's also drawing fouls. It's not just as simple as, oh, well, you know, you're going to average 25 points a game because you're going to make 12 baskets in the game. Yeah, it's being able to score, say, 8 baskets a game plus add 8 free throws to your game too. And I think the point there is that, you know, and you sort of alluded to yourself, players are being discouraged to do that from an analytic perspective or from an injury risk perspective. But it's actually beneficial for players to be able to learn that aspect of the game along with shooting threes. Okay, along with shooting threes, along with other parts of the game too. But it's such a lost sort of skill set, and a skill set that's never been really fully focused upon is the ability to continue to willingly draw fouls or look to draw fouls, even if it doesn't happen, because it's a skill set and a mindset that ultimately helps elite players at that point when they're fortunate enough to be in a pro league. And I'm not just talking about the NBA, I'm talking about in any league here. Okay, the more free throws you shoot, the more points you score, that's a no-brainer. And ultimately, the better player you are.
I think you're also fighting the point of emphasis from referees. So professional leagues, especially, they don't want to call too many fouls, right? It's because of flow of the game, not necessarily because they don't want to do their job. It's you want to have a flow of the game. So you want players. We've had this debate before that, you know, being hard and rough with the other team is a skill, whereas I probably have a vision of the NBA where it's more finesse based and more athletically gifted and skill based, right? So I think this is why we differ on this where I think you could, you know, I don't want to watch Ja Morant. Well, actually, you know what? The easiest example, it's James Harden when he was averaging like 13 free throw attempts, right?
Yep.
Absolutely exploited this. Incredibly, you know, changing rules. He ended up rules altered to prevent that from occurring again because it was just that devastating. It was either too potent or too boring, really, is what it boils down to. Drawing fouls is not a unanimous skill, right? I can work on my three-pointer and get better at it statistically.
Whoa. Drawing fouls is not a unanimous skill. You're saying
okay, so what I mean is control it. I can drive to the hoop 10 times every single game, and my free throw attempts will vary game to game. Because it's not in my hands. It is not in my hands. And we shouldn't be. And you know what? I actually think now that we've talked about this more, you're being irresponsible. You shouldn't be telling people to control something that they can't control. They should be working on their skills and not worrying about the referee thing. No, this is the referee thing all over again. The referee thing all over again. I think put the pressure on the refs.
There's a big point here. Maybe okay, let's refine this suggestion then. Okay, it's players, whatever, junior players, older players, superstars that play in the NBA should look to attack the basket more if they're not shooting a three with the intent to finish, but the willingness to draw a foul. That's the catch. So if you're not getting the foul call, let's assume the referees are correct. Okay, let's assume that it's a correct call. There's no foul call. The defense was clean. The hands were straight up. There was no contact. Then, as a player that's attacking the basket, it should be your prerogative and your skill set that you've been working on through all the years to then finish with that 2 points because there was no foul. And ultimately, you're still getting your 2 points. But it's that mindset and the willingness to the pain, okay, look to get that drive. But if there is a contact, the rules of the game stipulate then you go to the free throw line and you shoot your free throw.
I think players should also aim to score more points and allow less points as well. That should be a point of emphasis too. I love this take. All right, but we'll see what people think because it's.
Yo, this is two guys with spare time. I'm Faz. This is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.